What's up? The name is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell up above for future uploads. Thank you. So here I have an image courtesy of a friend, LD Mystery. This guy has been a big supporter of this channel since day one, has been fantastic on a live stream that I did, my first live stream, and had the pleasure of talking to him about multiple different things. He's a big supporter of Harry Potter, very much so, enjoys gangsters and gangster movies. So give him a follow on Twitter and make sure you check out what he's doing on Twitter. Top man indeed. So he's posted today an image that comes from Deadline and is talking about James Wan producing a new Van Helsing movie. Now, I don't know about you, but I very much so enjoyed Hugh Jackman's portrayal of Van Helsing. I loved the universal monster aspect of that movie. We start off with Jekyll and Hyde, we see then Dracula, we see Frankenstein, we see the Wolfman. There was supposed to be in the second movie possibly the mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I think that these were really strong ways of going forward. Now, potentially for myself, I think that this could have made a very good TV series. I really enjoyed in the first movie the kind of allusions to Van Helsing actually being possibly the Archangel Gabriel. I loved the interaction with the Catholic Church that was within the first movie also, and I liked that there was a kind of underground battling of evil coming from the Catholic Church. I think that that was a fantastic part of the first movie. Will we see much of that ever again in current ways? Possibly not, which was really disappointing because I think that that was a strong aspect of the first one. We also have a TV show that came out recently with a female-led Van Helsing. Not exactly something that we're accustomed to or used to, so I would be quite happy for this to revert back to type and have a male lead, because I think particularly with this character it does seem a lot of a stronger way of fighting these monsters when it's a male lead, and given that the success that could surround this series, particularly with a male lead, I think that that would be the way to go forward. If they wanted to have a female companion or something like that, that could be a good idea. But currently with Hollywood, with the way they write things, if they have a female lead, it's going to be a completely unlikable individual that's just best at everything and doesn't go through any sort of problems or any sort of character arc and just ends up winning. And that's not something that we want to see as fans and people that want to be buying into this sort of stuff. Now, I have to say I'm quite surprised that they are going to set a movie. I thought a TV series for this would be a stronger way of going forward, given the fact that you are going to see an awful lot more streaming going forward. The theatre industry looks like it's dead and gone. These movies, particularly with Warner Brothers at the moment, have moved their entire 2021 slate onto streaming with simultaneous releases in cinemas. That's effectively killing the cinemas, because who wants to go out and deal with the general public when you can have these movies in the comfort and the warmth of your own home? You do not have to deal with the general population or the way they behave in cinemas. So I think personally, unfortunately, that cinemas are going to go away. Now, what's Hollywood doing about it? Absolutely nothing. They are not helping any of these chains out. They are staying silent. They want to cheer on other things that are negative rather than actually helping out these theatre industries. It's sad to see, but that's the way it's going to go going forward. So as Van Helsing is being produced now in a new movie, it would be interesting to see what way James Wan is going to go about this. Is he going to include just one monster? I know an awful lot of people thought with the first movie there was too much going on. I personally loved it. I think that the more monsters that are in it, the better. I loved the way the Wolfman looked in the first movie with Hugh Jackman. I thought that was absolutely insane. I thought that was probably the best looking Wolfman that we've ever seen. I like the way Dracula changed into this really formidable looking beast, a really demonic looking beast as well too, and I really liked that. I thought that looked cool. Frankenstein was completely different in terms of he was really big and had this electrical kind of current for a heart, and obviously then he was a very big hearted, excuse the pun, type of character that was really shown to be a good character rather than an evil character, which I thought was quite nice. And I think as the series could have progressed, it meant then you could see more monsters that were just more so misunderstood, and I thought that that was a really good idea, particularly in the first movie. Obviously we had Jekyll and Hyde at the start that was really showing that duality that we were going to see within the movie of a really bad monstrous character in Mr. Hyde, and then Dr. Jekyll, who was completely surprised and ended up then being essentially offed and there was a sort of investigation about that then because of the fact that Van Helsing used those means. But in his mind, at that time, that was what was necessary. Again, like I said at the start of the video, I thought that this was a really interesting story because I thought with the fact that they were going to seemingly move it into a story about the Archangel Gabriel, perhaps, I thought that that was a really good way of going forward, and I think that that was really interesting. Looking forward to seeing what James Wan does. I think when you look at his body of work and what he's done, particularly as well with the monstrous creatures that we've seen as the Trench in Aquaman and his previous horror experiences, I think that this guy could be absolutely perfect for this movie. I am disappointed that we won't see Hugh Jackman at the moment back as Van Helsing, but I think James Wan is somebody that's in capable hands at the movie for this time. What will we see going forward? Well, he's made a couple of comments about Aquaman 2 being reflective of the world today. That's not great when you're trying to be selling a movie. So I would really hope then that he does set Van Helsing back in centuries ago where there's none of this sort of identity politics, political nonsense. It would be interesting to see who he casts as Van Helsing and what way he's going to take it going forward. I would like to see these characters be represented good. I would like to see the writing be good, and I would like to see the story be very strong and have character arcs that actually make sense throughout this movie. This is a possibility for a series. I do know that they tried to do it with Alex Kurtzman, who was failing forward continually in Hollywood, to have a universal monsterverse essentially. It looks like it was canned. James Wan could be the guy to set it in motion yet again, and Van Helsing be that focal point. I think because the Tom Cruise character in The Mummy wasn't Van Helsing, I think an awful lot of people were kind of 1/4 in, 1/4 out. If he was named Van Helsing, maybe that series might have been a little bit stronger with that really iconic name being attached to it, other than The Mummy. But I suppose it is what it is, and we'll have to wait and see what goes happening in the future with this one. What do you think about this? What did you think of the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing movie? Did you enjoy it? Leave your comment below. Are you disappointed to see James Wan take the reins on this one? Do you think it's going to be too much work for him continuing with Aquaman 2 obviously and with this, and also with all of the drama that's currently surrounding Aquaman 2, particularly with the female lead within that movie? What do you think he's going to do with this one? Do you think going forward with a Van Helsing movie is a good idea, or would you have preferred to see this as a TV series? I think that this could have been really good insofar as they could have had one monster for a season, or maybe two monsters a season, and I think that that would have been a very strong way of going forward, and you could have gotten 2 or 3 at least seasons out of that one, given the fact that Universal have so many monsters that could have been utilised within this one. Do you think that the Van Helsing character is burned out and you just don't want to see any more? Do you think it got as far as it could with the first movie and that was it? Or do you think that there is more story to be told? What did you think of the allusion to him being the Archangel Gabriel in the first movie? Did you think that that was a really interesting way of going forward? Or did you think, again, that was something that you didn't like to see? We did see at the end of that movie that Van Helsing could see the Kate Beckinsale character amongst others in the sky, so that really did tune into the fact that this guy could actually be some sort of angel or some sort of weapon of God, perhaps against these demonic spawn. I don't think we'll ever really know, because this is something that just went away in those kind of early years of movies just being the blockbuster, and if it didn't work out, it was just over and done with. Would you like to see Hugh Jackman come back as Van Helsing? Is that a narrative that we could play into with this one, that he's a more older, rugged version of Van Helsing and he is trying to find his way back? Would that be something that you'd like to see? And lastly, I'm going to ask, what monsters would you like to see in this movie? Who exactly would be top of your list, and who would you like to see play them? Leave a comment below and let me know. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. The name is Ninja Knight, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.